It's not their game. Rio Ferdinand names 4 Man United stars who don't suit Ruben Amorim. Manchester United legend Rio Ferdinand has insisted that Joshua Zirkzee, Harry Maguire, Rasmus Hojlund and Matthijs de Ligt are not dynamic or athletic enough to slot into Ruben Amorim's preferred style of play. Ferdinand spoke on TNT Sports after United beat Ipswich Town 3-2 at Old Trafford on Wednesday evening. The Red Devils started off terribly, with Patrick Dorgu and Andre Onana getting involved in a calamitous mix-up which allowed Jadon Philogene to tap into an open goal. Amorim's men responded well, restoring parity as Sam Morsy turned in an excellent free-kick delivery from Bruno Fernandes. United would go on to take the lead courtesy of de Ligt, who scored from close range. The game threatened to be turned sour for United after Dorgu was given his marching orders for a reckless tackle on Omari Hutchinson, only for Philogene to equalise just moments afterwards. However, Maguire came up with the goods almost immediately after the break, heading in home Fernandes's corner. Despite being pleased with the result, Ferdinand admitted that the fans are yet to see what they expected when Amorim replaced Erik ten Hag in November last year. Ferdinand said on TNT Sports, "I think if we're being brutally honest, there hasn't been the progress that we all anticipated." Where he came from, how successful he had been, and the silverware he brought to Sporting, the anticipation of him coming was like, wow, what an opportunity we've got now with this young manager, and it hasn't transferred here. I sat with him the other day and you can see there's a desire, there's a work ethic behind the scenes, and he's nipping at everything to try and get this right and turn it around, but things haven't been smooth for him, and he hasn't managed to get it to where he wants to at this point in time. Ferdinand added, "I think he needs to just get to the end of the season, really regroup, and then start building again, building the team and coaching the team, because right now they've been stuttering along, and that's probably being polite. I watched Sporting a few times, in Europe especially. They were an athletic, dynamic team. That was one of the staples of that team, the hallmarks of that good team that was winning things." He continued, "This team aren't a mobile, dynamic team. If you look through the heartbeat of this team, they have other qualities, but being physical, having the ability to overrun teams physically, they don't have that capacity." Asked whether Zirkzee is the type of player that suits Amorim, Ferdinand answered, "Oh, de Ligt, Maguire, Hojlund, it's not their game. So I think he needs to find those type of players with the capabilities of carrying out not only tactically what he wants, but the physicality is equally important." During the match, Ferdinand and Robbie Savage also tore into Onana, blaming him for not communicating with Dorgu in the build-up to Philogene's first strike. Savage said on commentary via Daily Mail, "Wow, Dorgu has tracked the run, and the communication between Onana and Dorgu must be non-existent. Credit to Jadon Philogene, the desire. He's onside. But I've got no idea why Onana is running out to that position. Dorgu has got it under control. No problem at all. He shouldn't come there, Onana. I might be completely wrong, but stay. The defender has got it under control, so stay in your 6-yard box. Credit to Philogene. What a start from Ipswich." Savage went on, "The defender has got it under control. I don't think there is a reason why Onana comes out there. You should be talking, lay it back to him on his right foot, and then he can clear it. I don't know why he's come. The defender is in control. Onana, stay in your goal." Ferdinand was equally critical, further stating, "A terrible start. I don't think Dorgu, at any moment, looks up to see where Onana is. Onana doesn't need to come in. The fullback is in complete control, and he can just hold his ground and let him play it back to him. But Dorgu doesn't look, the awareness isn't there, and it's pounced on. Ipswich took a deserved lead for pouncing on that lack of communication." The result saw United climb up just 1 point to 14th place in the Premier League table. The Reds are back in action on Sunday when they welcome Fulham to Old Trafford in the 5th round of the FA Cup. Kick-off is at 16:30 GMT. Meanwhile, in other news, which games Patrick Dorgu will miss for Manchester United after red card versus Ipswich Town? Patrick Dorgu will want to quickly forget about his first-half performance for Manchester United against Ipswich Town. Just 4 minutes into the Premier League clash, Patrick Dorgu's back pass skipped past Andre Onana and set up an easy opener for Jadon Philogene, although the majority of the blame lies with the goalkeeper. After a terrible first-half performance against Everton, Ruben Amorim wanted his side to start quickly, but Manchester United endured a nightmarish first 5 minutes. The Red Devils clawed their way into a lead after an own goal from Sam Morsy and a first Old Trafford goal for Matthijs de Ligt, but things came crashing back down to earth when Dorgu was sent off for a reckless challenge. The 20-year-old mistimed his challenge on Omari Hutchinson and received a straight red card from referee Darren England following a VAR review. Dorgu has made a bright start at United following his £25 million move from Lecce in the January transfer window. Ruben Amorim has praised Dorgu for his performances so far, but the United head coach will now have to cope without him for 3 games. Suspensions from Premier League red cards can be served in the FA Cup, so the first game Dorgu will miss is Sunday's FA Cup 5th round clash against Fulham. After that, Dorgu will be able to feature in the Europa League trip to Real Sociedad, but he will miss the next 2 Premier League matches against Arsenal and Leicester City. Dorgu will be a huge miss for United, given that Amorim was desperate for a new left wing-back. With the Dane now suspended, Amorim will have to plug square holes with round pegs once again. After Dorgu was sent off, Noussair Mazraoui came on to replace him, and the £13 million summer signing will likely have to step up for the next 3 matches. Diogo Dalot could return to left wing-back after playing there for the first half of the season before Dorgu's arrival. Premier League release: Man United vs Ipswich statement as "terrible challenge" leads to red card. Patrick Dorgu has suffered an awful first half after being involved in Ipswich Town's opener and has now been sent off for Manchester United. The Premier League has released a statement after VAR was used to send off Patrick Dorgu during Manchester United's clash with Ipswich Town at Old Trafford. On a rainy night at Old Trafford, Dorgu stretched into a challenge with Omari Hutchinson. However, the wing-back was high with studs up on the Ipswich winger and connected with the forward's leg. Initially, referee Darren England gave a free kick and no further action. However, after being recommended to go to his monitor by VAR Craig Pawson, England decided to award Dorgu a red card. In their statement, the Premier League explained, VAR recommended an on-field review for a possible red card to Dorgu for the challenge on Hutchinson, with the contact deemed serious foul play. Upon review, the referee issued a red card to Dorgu. Speaking on TNT Sports commentary, former United midfielder Robbie Savage was scathing of the challenge. He said, "I tell you what. I think he's very, very high here. I think this is not a great challenge. I think this could be a straight red. I might be completely wrong. I think this is a bad challenge." He added, "That, for me, is a terrible challenge." Dorgu left the pitch with the Reds 2-1 up, but that advantage did not last long for Ruben Amorim's side. Jadon Philogene added his second of the match as he whipped an inviting ball into the penalty area. Liam Delap caused a distraction by peeling off his defender and, while not touching it, caused Andre Onana to be unsighted, and it ended up nestling in the bottom corner. Meanwhile, in other news, predicted Manchester United lineup to face Ipswich Town in Premier League clash. Manchester United will hope Wednesday is the game in which Ruben Amorim's side finally changes fortunes in the Premier League. We remain hopeful that Ruben Amorim can score almost a watershed victory with impressive football played, yet we are disappointed every week. Manchester United have only won 1 game in 5, but there have been encouraging signs over the past few weeks which suggest things are starting to click. On Saturday, when United faced Everton and drew 2-2, the second half was far better, and Amorim will be keen to see this for 90 minutes on Wednesday night. Things simply have to improve, with United needing to secure European football to ease the financial burden. Although this looks likeliest through winning the Europa League this season. This makes Wednesday's visit of Ipswich Town all the more important for United to get things back on track. Manchester United's Premier League season to date has been a disaster, with Amorim's side sitting 15th in the table. Amorim has seen his United side struggle to perform at Old Trafford, and the Red Devils will not be handed an easy outing this Wednesday. It was confirmed on Tuesday that United's injury list remains the same versus Ipswich, which could mean some interesting decisions await. So with this in mind, here is our predicted lineup. In goal, it seems assured that Andre Onana would find himself starting the game. That being said, huge improvements are needed between now and June, otherwise he could be replaced. Against Everton, Lenny Yoro had a solid outing from the bench, and in an effort to rotate, had surely starts against Ipswich. Harry Maguire cannot play every game as it would be inviting injury, and so Victor Lindelof could get a rare chance on Wednesday against Ipswich. On the left of the back three, we would love to see Aiden Heaven debut, but it is likely to be Matthijs de Ligt who starts. Diogo Dalot is likely one of Amorim's first names on the team sheet, despite his poor performances, and with Noussair Mazraoui injured, he likely starts here again. Manuel Ugarte should be in the starting lineup after his impressive display against Everton. Ugarte scored his first United goal and will look for another here. Amid United's poor form, Bruno Fernandes remains key for Amorim. Rio Ferdinand has suggested that Bruno will be annoyed with his teammates, and he will likely have to inspire anything good again here. Having only made 3 appearances for United, Patrick Dorgu is already irreplaceable for Amorim on the left, and so will absolutely start this one. The season of Joshua Zirkzee at United has been very hot and cold, although the cold has remarkably outweighed the hot. Zirkzee has levels of improvement to come, but he probably needs a more coherent team. Despite how atrocious his finishing was against Spurs, the tie with Everton proved Alejandro Garnacho simply must start. Rio Ferdinand agreed with Garnacho's importance, and so he starts here. Leading the line for United, the performances of Rasmus Hojlund warrant being dropped, and so we predict that Chido Obi will be handed his maiden start for United. This would be a huge statement as to how frustrated Amorim is with Hojlund. Meanwhile, in other news, how Manchester United feel about Rasmus Hojlund's future, Ruben Amorim settles on profile of striker to target this summer. Rasmus Hojlund is enduring another difficult season at Manchester United. The 22-year-old has not scored a single goal in his previous 16 appearances for Manchester United, and questions are being asked whether he is the right man to lead the line moving forward. Even though Rasmus Hojlund has scored just 7 goals this term, including 2 in the Premier League, Ruben Amorim has defended his young striker publicly and continues to select him in the lineup, despite the worrying goal drought. Hojlund may have time on his side to develop into a better striker, but United need a goal-scorer now, which is why we are being linked with several strikers ahead of the summer transfer window. Ineos intend to back Amorim in the transfer market, but it remains to be seen how much spending power will be afforded to the newly appointed head coach. Although it seems unfair to pitch such responsibility on a young striker, Hojlund's struggles at United are not easing, and something needs to be done about it. Amorim has given chances to every member of United's first-team squad over the past 3 months, but it is understood that patience is wearing thin when it comes to several players. Transfer expert Graham Bailey has explained to United in Focus that Manchester United are prepared to cash in on Hojlund if an adequate offer is made this summer. United are aware that several Italian clubs are interested in making a move for Hojlund, including Napoli, so his reputation remains strong from his time at Atalanta. Juventus are also interested in a move for Hojlund, after being continuously linked with Joshua Zirkzee since the Netherlands forward moved to United from Bologna. Hojlund is not the only forward with an uncertain future at Old Trafford. Amorim is keen to reconfigure United's attack after making it clear to the football department that he wants a dynamic number 9. Several names appear on United's radar, including Victor Gyökeres and Victor Osimhen, who both boast more experience than any of the club's current forwards. Gyökeres has the benefit of knowing Amorim after proving to be a success at Sporting CP, but United's head coach remains open-minded to working with other strikers as long as they fit the bill. United have also sent representatives to Turkey to keep an eye on Napoli's Osimhen, on loan at Galatasaray, and they were impressed by the levels he was showing in the Super League. Osimhen has scored 20 goals and registered 5 assists, while Gyökeres has been one of the most prolific forwards in Europe this term. Another forward on United's radar is Dusan Vlahovic, who could be on the move in the summer after failing to agree a contract extension with Juventus. Ideally, United don't want to take a big risk with their striker signing. Amorim wants a player who already knows how to score goals. Subscribe for more inside updates.